What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I'm Abe, and this is Eve Online. And today I figured we could talk about how to find a corporation or how to pick a corporation to run missions for. Not to be a part of yourself, but to run missions for. So I, I'm not sure I mentioned, but I went through like a rather long process trying to find the right system, the right area. And so if you're going to be running missions for for a corporation for quite some time, you're going to be building up loyalty points. And loyalty points are yet another, um, they're basically a currency that you can spend to get faction or corporation specific items. So if you run a bunch of, like, one of the ways to get Sisters of Eve ships like the Astero or the Stratios or the Nestor, if you're not going to buy it on the market outright. And the way people make those, the way people get them, is they trade in their loyalty points for blueprint copies and or the ships themselves. So that's going to require a large amount of loyalty points, and the way you get loyalty points is you run missions. So when I was picking missions with this person, you'll see that you get, say, 203 loyalty points, right? So if I look in my wallet, no, it's not in my wallet. I think it's in my journal. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I have now earned a total of 6,600 loyalty points with the Chief Executive Panel. Now, that's the corporation I ended up choosing. So what goes into choosing a corporation? You're probably, unless you have a large group of friends that you play with and that you're going to run PvE content with in nullsec, which is a very select few of you, you will probably be doing most of your missioning at level 4. So for me, and I let me just say up front, I am not an expert at this. This is just how I have come to play the game, and these are the ways that I go about things. It is by no means the best way. It is a way, and you probably have better ways to do it than I do, and I'm happy to hear about them in the comments. And together, maybe we can come across the best way. But one way or another, I usually look at it and I consider that level 4 missions are where I'm going to be spending the largest portion of my missioning. And as such, that's going to be the source of the most, like, the highest amount of loyalty points for me. So one of the criteria I want to find is I want to make sure that there are level 4 agents for level 4 security agents in zero point 0.5 security systems. Okay, so doing the same mission for an agent in 0.5 space versus 1.0 space, you will be getting a much higher ISK reward, and I want to say that the bounty rewards are much higher in lower security space as well. But I don't know that for a fact. So the overall mission rewards are going to be higher in both ISK and loyalty points. And so that adds up over time. And so to start with, I want to make sure that whatever corporation I wind up in is going to have at least one agent in a 0.5 space, because it's still high sec and it's relatively safe as far as, Eve is concerned. And if there are more than one level 4 agents within a small radius, either one or two systems within range of each other, then all the better, right? So you can go to the agency and you can pull this up and you can see this, right? So I'm looking right now, any distance from myself, and there are 3 level 4 agents for this corporation that I have found here. So if you open up the agency, it's this little icon over on the left. They're trying to put most, if not all, of their PvE content sort of in here. Click over here to select the pull down for agents. This is the agent finder now. They removed it from the station overview on the right side, and they've put it inside the agency. And it's you still have most, if not all, of the same functionality here. You can select how close to you they are. Another consideration is how close these agents are to major trading hubs, because you're going to pick up loot slowly over time, and you're going to want to go and sell it probably, every week or every 2 weeks. It depends on how much you play and how much you want to sell. But the closer you are, the more accessible trade stations are, the better. And so that's one other thing to think about. So the first is like where these level 4 agents are. If on your way to level 4 there are level 3 and level 2 systems that share agents, right? So you don't have to relocate all of your stuff, and we'll make a video about sort of the best way to go about doing that. But so I went looking for, specifically for the purpose that I was looking for. I was looking to raise Caldari State standing or faction, and there are a number of corporations that over time will contribute to that. So if we look at interactions, understandings here on the character sheet, you can see I've got Caldari State. Now if I double click on that, it'll pull open the info and it'll tell you what the member corporations are. All of these corporations will, when you do a story mission for them, every 16 missions with an agent, will raise your standing with Caldari State. Okay, so that's sort of the parent faction, so to speak. And so how do you look at this long list and pick one? Well, that's a different matter altogether. And now there are a lot of resources. The one I used most recently is a website called lpstock.ru. And what this basically does is it maps out prices of... It sort of helps you understand the translation between loyalty points to ISK. And so some factions and some, specifically some corporations, will have things in their loyalty point store that is not of much value, right? So if I open this up, I won't be able to look at it and tell you, you know, what's worth money and what's not. But generally, the target you want to have for yourself is about 2,000 ISK per loyalty point. If you can achieve that rate, then that's pretty much the best you can do. Or not the very best you can do, but that's a good target to set for yourself. And so that's kind of what I did. So I go to this website, which hopefully you can see here. There we go. Now this is in largely Russian, so let me translate this. But it shows the factions up here at the top. And I've got it organized to show profit per unit LP over here. So it goes from highest to lowest. And then I just click under Caldari State, and there's that list of corporations, right? So for me, I went and found, as you can see, a lot of these are purple because I've clicked on them previously. I read things online about the Lai Dai Corporation, which you can get, they're saying about 1,450 or 60 ISK per LP by buying and selling Caldari Navy Ballistic Control System blueprints. And so this may be what you want to do. Maybe that's the corporation. So you come back over into the game and you scroll down in the corporation pull down. You've got Caldari State selected here for the faction. You scroll down in this to Lai Dai Corporation, and you see where the agents are, right? So one of them is 17 jumps away. And let's close this down. So we'll set a destination. Right now we are personally 17 jumps from this system. There's also another 0.5 system, and these are level 2 agents. So let's select level 4. So I didn't select this corporation purely because I looked in here and I saw that the only level 4 agent for this corporation was in LowSec. And I'm just not looking to run missions in 0.4 space. Okay, so what about the other Lai Dai Corporation? We click under Caldari State again. We select the Lai Dai Protection Service. And we see that their conversion rate is much lower, right? And that's... It looks like 1,050 ISK per loyalty point. We come back over here, and that's not very good. Just about 1,000. But if we're looking at level 4 security agents, there's one in Uhulanen, whatever that, however you pronounce that. So, all right, so that's 18 jumps away, and then we can also, just to get an idea, open up the map and look for Jita and add that as a waypoint. All right, so that's actually very close to Jita. So it's only what did we say here? 18 to 26, that's 8 jumps away from Jita. So that's pretty good. So that means that if you need to restock on ammo, if you need any number of different things, you'll be able to get to it quickly and easily. So there's one agent in this area, and they're a part of this corporation, but unfortunately, like we saw on the website, they really don't have a whole lot that will sell for much, right? So this may not be the best choice. So if we keep clicking, like I also looked at the Caldari Navy, and looks like they have a similar, you notice that there are many shared items here. It's the same item that's being sold for loyalty points here, as with the Caldari Corporation. Let's see. Yeah, so I started clicking around. I found some that were faction warfare specific, because when I went to look up agents for them, there weren't any. And let's see, where I did end up, I think State War was one. Chief Executive Panel, that's where I wound up, and it was, 1300, which isn't great, but it's okay. The main point for me doing all of this was to get my Caldari faction up, not so much to make money running missions, but at 1300 ISK per LP, that's not bad. So I came over here and I found the, oh man, what was it? Executive Panel, there we go. And I saw, oh, there's a level 4 agent in Otito. So let's add a waypoint to that, and we'll remove that waypoint. And alright, so Jita, it's Otito is 6 jumps from here, and Jita is, looks like 8 or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 8 to 10 jumps away from Otito. Right? So that's a great system. So if I click here, it'll show me a little bit closer. Obviously, I can't take any missions from them yet. I need to get my standing with the corporation up to 5.0. Corporation or Caldari State. So once I get my Caldari State standing up, I can run missions for all of these corporations, I believe. Maybe not. Well, I'll have to look that up. But regardless, I found this agent and I said, okay, that's a good start. We've got a level 4 agent in 0.5 space. Let's see where level 3 is at. Is it really super far? So let's get Jita off of there. And we're going to Otito. So I am 14 jumps. I looked at level 3. I saw I'm in a system right now, Silent, that is 0.5. And then I went and looked at level 2, and I saw a level 2 agent here. Now there's also a level 2 agent in Otito. So could we have found a level 3 agent in Otito? We couldn't, which is why I ended up here. So this is kind of how I narrowed in on what corporation I decided to run missions for to build up my Caldari state. That website, lpstock.ru, is very useful. I'll when I upload this, I will do my very best to remember to put a link in the comments or in the description. But that's kind of how you go about it. And then it's a matter of pretty quickly, it didn't take me very long. It took me about a day to get my standing from 1.5 to 3. And that's, maybe 2 to 3 hours of running missions. I thought I would be really super clever, and I skipped the cruiser class and just bought a battle cruiser. So I was running level 2 missions in a battle cruiser, which was overkill, and it made it so I didn't really have to worry at all. As an aside, because I didn't have my skill trained up all the way, I had to run it without any defensive modules in my shields, no shield hardeners. So I would take a lot of damage, but I could do it because I was pretty beefy. But anyway, so I initially looked for level 4 agents. I used that website to see where and how I could make some money in the process. Tracked it back through the agency to find where those agents would be located, whether they're in 0.5 space, whether they're relatively close to trade hubs, and relatively close to each other. If you could find a system that has level 2, level 3, and level 4 agents in it, or within 1 or 2 jumps of each other, jackpot. Now, a good example of that is if we come down here to Sisters of Eve and the Sisters of Eve Corporation, you can see here, where is it? Apanake. All right, so we've got this. There's level 4 agents there. And here, we'll set the destination. So we're at 25 jumps. We'll add a waypoint. Okay, that one is really far away. And let's see. Well, 11:33. Okay, that one's still pretty far away. We will, I don't know. But there's a level 4 agent in 0.5 space. There is a way to determine whether and where the storyline missions are with relation to where your agents are. And that is also important. If your storyline mission is in low sec or null sec, then you're probably not going to want to do it. So there's a level 3 agent in Samela, which, if we add a waypoint, is not super close. But that's where you would need to go. And then level 2, if I'm not mistaken, is also in Samela. So it was a similar situation. And Sisters of Eve, if we go back over to this website here, the Servant Sisters of Eve, Sisters of Eve, there you go. And they suspect that you can get about 14 to 1500. Generally speaking, I think the accepted, if you wait and you're good on the market, you can get about 2,000 ISK per LP with SOE loyalty point store items. But anyway, that's where we're at, and those are the tools that I'm using. So you can go through that process. Let me know if you have any challenges. It's not super easy, and it's just not easy, right? And space is very big, as you can see. The internet is also very big. There may, and I know I've used other tools that are also a little bit more intuitive than this website. So explore. Let me know what you use. Let me know what factions and what corporations you wound up running missions for, and yeah, we can compare notes. So thank you for watching. Next videos we'll get into kind of ship fitting, the basics of kind of what each of the various slots are for on a very general level. We'll be in another video, we'll be talking about how to transport your goods across space in what is hopefully a safe manner, or as safe as you can get. Yeah, and we'll just kind of step through things. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.